What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Landon McClellan. I came all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina to beautiful, sunny Atlanta, Georgia to be on the SwitchUp ATL. Shout out to Mr. HQ Films himself for having me. Let's get right into these questions. All right. I feel like I'm picking something for a raffle. What we gonna do? Oh, here we go, one right here. Choose one, Bernie Mac or Eddie Murphy, and why? I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to say Uncle Bernie. Just because I didn't really watch Eddie's content super heavy like that. Eddie's super funny. But Bernie, just Bernie's story with the Kings of Comedy about him adopting his 3 nieces and nephews, that whole story about going upstairs to get some cookies and milk, done. I'll take Bernie over Eddie just because of that one story right there. I guess some milk and cookies. Hey, listen. Hey, Bernie is goated, bro. You remember that scene? You remember that scene he had in Transformers? He was like, "That's my mama," and he pointed up to the hill, you know, "Hey, mama, fuck you, old bitch." Oh shit. He was talking. All right, question number 2. Oh man, I keep catching glimpses and pieces of words, and I get tempted. Oh, let's see. Here we go. If you can only wear one color for the rest of your life, what color would it be? Black. That ain't even a question. I might as well left that in the bucket. Black. As a matter of fact, I went through a whole long phase where I wore nothing but black. I didn't have a single piece of color in my closet. I didn't have no bandanas like this. I didn't have no glasses, no tint. If it wasn't black, I wasn't putting it on. And I read a study somewhere. Lord knows I know where that was. But it says that people that are less depressed tend to wear brighter colors. People that wear brighter colors tend to be less depressed. Causation, whatever. I decided to give it a try. And so I signed up for one of those subscription services, where they mail you a package of clothes to your house every month, right? So I signed up for one of those, and I intentionally went down on their little style profile thing, and all the brightest, most outrageous stuff that you can give me. And so there was a very dramatic shift. I don't know if it's helped with the depression, to be completely honest. But yeah, now I got a few colors. In my wardrobe, but black all day long. Nothing but black for the rest of my life. Heck, let's do it. I'm 100% down with it. All right, question number 3. What are we doing out here, Atlanta? Come on, baby. Give me something good. What's the most ridiculous trend you've seen on social media? I don't know. Probably the Tide Pod thing was pretty epic. Yeah, people were actually eating Tide Pods. That was hilarious. Another ridiculous one that I saw, I don't know if y'all remember the crate climbing challenges. You remember that when they stack a bunch of crates up and try to climb up the crates, and people were breaking ribs, people were breaking arms, people were doing all kinds of stuff. There was one video that always blew me away that cracked me up. It's somebody's uncle or some older guy, and he's climbing and climbing. Boom! And they went up, put the camera right in his face, which is disrespectful as hell. Like, you saw the man fall off the crates, put the camera right in his face. "What's the matter? What happened? You good?" He's like, "When I fell down." He couldn't say another. I know what it's like to get the wind knocked out of you, okay? Bro was not having a good time. They put that camera right in his face. I felt so bad for him. Both of those trends were terrible, bro. Don't stack up a bunch of crates and try to fall off of them, because you'll have a rough time. You're going to end up in the ER with a bunch of bills you don't want. And the crates don't care. The crates in the ER where you left them at. They don't even care. Let's see. Here goes another one. Share a funny or embarrassing moment from your journey as an artist. Oh, man. Woo! A funny or embarrassing moment from your journey as an artist. Oh, man. Well, it's not one particular experience, a series of experiences. I know all brand new artists can attest to this. You go play some tiny little club, little hole in the wall or whatever, and you can't get the sound engineer, if there is a sound engineer, to turn your mic up loud enough so you're screaming at the top of your lungs, right, trying to get your point across. If you're doing real vocals over a track, right, if you've got a performance track prepared with just backup vocals and you're actually trying to sing a rap, yeah, that's always hilarious. I think another one that always haunts me in my hometown, Wilmington, shout out to the Port City, by the way, 910, baby. There are two tastemakers in Wilmington, a comedian named Louis T., who's my buddy, and also Brandon, Big B, that runs or is incorporated with the hip-hop station in Wilmington, right? And these guys are both bearded, similar builds, right? And very, very early on, I mistook them, and I walked up to the comedian and called him Big B by accident. And to this day, every time I see Lewis, he's not letting me live that down. You called me Big B. I was like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry, bro. From a distance in a crowded club, I swear to God, I thought that's who that was. But anyhow, yeah, he'll never let me live that down until the day I die. Let's see. All right, let's hit another one. Come on, baby. Snake Eyes. Let's see. What's the craziest dream you ever had that you could remember? Man, I had okay, y'all gonna laugh at me. This was actually recently. I don't know about all time, but fairly recently, I had a dream or a series of dreams over the course of a night that I was trying to eat a Little Debbie's snack cake or like a honey bun or something like this. And a series of fateful events stopped me from eating that snack cake. Like I kept trying to peel the same snack cake over and over, and something crazy would happen in the dream that I would have to attend to. I have to go deal with something, whatever. All right, finally gonna get this. I'm gonna eat this honey bun. I know y'all laughing. Don't laugh at me, okay? I like honey buns. Ooh-wee. What you gonna do about it? But anyhow, yeah, the whole night I'm trying to eat this honey bun. Could not get a bite of this honey bun because stuff kept happening. All right, come on. We're going. Let me see. These are good ones so far. I like these questions. All right, here goes one right here. If you could only communicate using emojis for a month, which ones would you choose? Ooh, I don't know, man. I should honestly pull up my phone and look in my most used emojis category to be able to answer this question correctly. I know that I use the drool face a lot. I'm always drooling at stuff online. I think I use the crying face a lot, which is actually laughing. And I've had this argument. You tell me out there in internet land whether you agree with me or not. But if I send you an emoji with just the straight tears crying down the face, that's laughing. Is that laughing to you? Would you consider that a laugh? Because I know there's a couple different laughing emojis. One turns sideways, one who's just cheesing, you know what I mean? Like whatever. But when I send you a straight crying emoji, like just sobbing with the river of tears running down the front, that's still laughing. That's still laughing for some reason to me. Like laughing till I'm crying or whatever, I guess. Anyhow, yeah, it would be that. It would be the little purple devil emoji. Man. I use a black heart a lot. I got a black heart that I use all the time. Probably that. I don't use a whole lot of negative emojis, I don't think. Most of my emoji play is pretty positive. Most of it. All right, come on. Come on, baby. What's the best skill you have as an artist? That's a good one. See, and this question says, what is the best skill that you have as an artist, not what's your favorite skill that you have as an artist, which would probably be two different answers, to be quite honest with you. Probably the best skill I have as an artist would probably be singing and playing acoustic piano. That combination, me sitting at a piano, playing the piano, and singing into a microphone, I would say that's my strong suite, or strong suit, whatever. I'm sure you guys are going to correct me at some point. Yeah, but sitting at a piano, if you give me a grand piano, I will sing the panties off your grandmama. I will sing your uncle into tears, bro. Like, because I grew up in church singing. You got to think about that. Like, there was a whole, section of my life before I decided to pursue anything public with my music or, show my artistry to the world in any way, shape, or form. There was a whole era of me singing in church. What a Friend We Have in Jesus, Amazing Grace, all these classics. And so there was a period of development where me and the piano got intimately acquainted. Before I knew anything about recording studios, before I knew anything about arrangements or vocal dubbing or anything that has mixing and mastering, anything that has to do with the studio experience, that was all in the future for me at that point. So when I get back to those roots, just me and the piano, whew. As a matter of fact, to this day, currently in Wilmington, North Carolina, I have a residency at a beautiful eating spot called the Cardinal Restaurant. It's there in Wilmington. It's on Masonboro. Shout out to Russell, the owner. And I play every single Saturday night that I'm not doing something else. Anytime I'm out here, doing other stuff, he's flexible and he's gracious, and that's great. And I love him for that. But yeah, piano and vocals, bro. Give me a mic, give me a piano. Sing you some Bruno Mars, sing you some Luther Vandross, sing you some Danny Hathaway. You know what I'm saying? You never know. All right, here we go. Come on. 3 more? Ooh, all right. Don't tease me with a good time. If you could relive one moment from your past, what would it be? Oh, my goodness. They say not to live in the past. I think a really incredible moment, if I could go back and experience it one more time, I was so tempted to say the day me and my ex finally broke up. But I don't even think she deserves that much. So I think personally what I would say would be back in 2020, I guess 2021, 2022, something like that. I was under different management, and the folks that I was involved in were trying to get me signed at Atlantic Records. So we got on a plane and we flew to New York. Shout out to Mr. Sean Bonner and the whole squad. And we flew to New York, and I met with A&Rs from Atlantic Records. After previewing a panel, a couple of A&Rs in a boardroom type setting, previewed them some music of mine. Everything was going well. My manager in the middle of that, calling back to my last answer, said, hey, this boy can play piano and sing. Come in here and let's do something live for you, right? Instead of just listening to studio cuts. And so they brought us into this other room in the sort of the lobby of Atlantic Records, right? And it's my manager, the A&R that we were talking to, and my producer, right? 3 people were standing there. Oh, and Anthony, I believe, our financier. So 4 people standing by the railing. I sit down at this all-black, beautiful baby grand piano, okay? And I launched into a routine that me and Sean had already set up together. So I was running through classics. I was running through some Stevie Wonder. Then I would run to an original song of mine, and then I'd play a little bit of Luther Vandross. As a matter of fact, that same song that Kendrick just sampled, If This World Were Mine, is what I touched on. I played a little bit of that Danny Hathaway song and Roberta Flack, The Closer I Get to You. I had a whole lineup of really nice, classy, oldie but goodies that sound good on piano, and I could sing really well. And I just remember looking up after a brief, because you kind of lose yourself in the music, at least I do, so I'm playing and I'm singing, I'm minding my business, and I look up, and there's 25 people. The entire offices of Atlantic Records cleared out, and we're all stuck in front of that piano. And just looking up and, going from having seen four figures standing to the right, and I just glance up, and my entire periphery now is just a sea of faces. To me, that was some of the most humbling and the most, gratifying sight that I could possibly see, I think. It was pretty incredible. Because these people hear music all day, you know what I mean? These people drown themselves. They make it a business to hear as much music as they can possibly hear at all times. So, to be able to play for them and have them come out who is that? It's core memory, bro. I'm going to be 85 years old in a nursing home talking about, y'all remember when I played in Atlantic? Everybody's going to go, no, we weren't there, bro. What are you talking about? If you sign $1 million advance deal right now, what would be the first thing you would buy? I'd buy some insurance on that $1 million because you're going to have to pay it back. All right? Then I'm going to fix my teeth. All right? Looking like a great white shark out here. Fish are friends, not food looking at. All right? Get the bag and fix your teeth, my boy. You know what I'm saying? That would probably be the first thing. I don't know, man, because I really don't, I don't really have any grand aspirations for cars. I already own one of my dream cars. I already daily a ZX14 every day. I don't really have a whole lot of, super crazy desires as far as, physical things are concerned. I think if I had the $1 million advance, I think I would use it to create the most incredible band. I think I would bring together some of the most incredible talents, a 5 or 6 piece vocal backup section. I'm talking about Stevie Wonder 2012 tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about I think it was 2012. What was the big tour I think it was 2012. Anyhow, vocal arrangements, a brass section. You kidding me? Me on the keys, the greatest drummer the world has ever seen, right? With $1 million, you could create an Avengers level band. And then I would make the greatest album of all time. I would create the greatest album of all time with those tools at my disposal, and I would compose and arrange everything and drop the hardest album. I want Maxwell to call me up personally and say, bro, listen, you know what I'm saying? That's Midsummer's Night type vibes, you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, yeah. This is the last one right here. All right, this is dessert, ladies and gentlemen. You've been through all the courses. You've experienced the ups and downs, the manic highs and the depressive lows. You've lived through it all. And here goes your dessert. This is the final bite before you got to leave the restaurant and pay. Comparison question. Choose one, money or power. Why? Power. Because money comes and goes. And so can power. But I know a lot of people that had a lot of money and no power, and that money disappeared very quickly due to a series of irresponsible decisions. And now I know some people who float in and out of massive amounts of money, but their power, their consistent respect, their consistent ability to command their forces or their allies, right, will always lead them back into some money. If you got power, you always gonna come back to the bag, baby. You ain't gotta worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's easy. Anyhow, once again, shout out to Mr. HQ Films himself. Shout out to the SwitchUp Atlanta for having me. It's been an incredible time. My name is Landon McClellan. Please go stream Luv U tomorrow on all platforms. Shout out to Jay Styles. Shout out to Symphonic. Shout out to I Swim with Sharks. Shout out to AE Productions. Shout out to Miss Wildheart over here. Shout out to the whole team. I love you guys. It's been beautiful.